Hi, I'm Taylor, a yin yoga teacher, and today I'm going to teach you how to do butterfly pose. There are a few different variations, but this is one of my personal favorite poses and what I teach most to my students either to begin a class and right before Savasana. Depending on the variation you choose, it can be very accessible to a majority of people and make it really comfortable and cozy. To begin, traditional butterfly is with the soles of your feet together. I like to encourage having your feet a little bit farther away from your groin than you normally would in your more active style of yoga class. If you would like to invite more intensity into the pose, you can of course draw the feet closer towards your groin and you'll feel a deeper stretch, most likely in your inner thighs. Otherwise, since it is yin, a more relaxed variation I think is really great. And if you or you notice your students have your knees hiked up, you can always place blocks underneath the legs to help support here and avoid this holding sensation in the hips, which we want to avoid. We want to be able to relax in yin even though we are providing healthy stress on our joints. Another thing to keep in mind is that a lot of students here, as with any forward fold, is they'll come to round into the low back and hunch forward. We want to avoid this, especially if there is any back injuries. A tall spine is necessary and a tilting forward of your pelvis. Now, if this feels quite hard for students to do, or for yourself, this is when a folded blanket comes in handy, and it's something that you can come to sit up on, and it can help you tilt forward. You want to make sure that you're sitting on the edge, almost like you're about to roll off, but you're still secure enough that you can stay there. This is totally optional. It's not needed for everyone. From here, I recommend having your hands on your ankles or your shins. As you inhale, reach the crown of your head tall towards the sky. Your tailbone roots down into the mat. Hinge forward from the hips, so it's just a tilting motion. Your back is staying straight. And when you can no longer hinge, then begin to round your spine forward as you curl in on yourself. From here, if your head is dangling, as it will be for most people, you can always use a block on your feet, or if you have a longer torso than me, just in front of your feet to rest your head. You can also walk your arms out long. Your palms may face into the mat or face up, totally optional for you. To release, simply press your hands into the mat and use the assistance of your hands to help push you all the way back up and come to sit with a tall spine again. This is butterfly forward fold. My ultimate favorite is a reclined butterfly. So for this, again, soles of feet come to touch, still heels away from the groin. And even in my own practice, I have quite flexible hips. I find that having my legs open will really begin to pull on my knees and cause pain. So I always like recommending the blocks underneath the legs because this is not always evident when you first start practicing the pose, but when you're holding for a couple minutes at a time, you can really begin to notice this. Now you can choose to come all the way down on the back side of your body here with no props underneath your spine. However, you can also use a bolster or a rolled blanket. You can start with it just at the base of your spine, sticking out behind you and coming to lay all the way back. Arms may fall out far from the sides, or sometimes it feels nice to have palms on the belly. But this can create quite a bit of a back bend. So if there's any pinching sensations, just gently push your prop away a little bit so there's more space between your tailbone and the prop, and then lean back onto it and see if that feels a little bit more comfortable. This is a really great pose to tap into your sacral, your heart, and your third eye chakra, whether you're folded forward or reclined back. As I said, it's one of my favorite poses. Really make it your own, really get comfortable. This is the type of pose that helps get me to the mat, and I hope that it can you as well. I've linked a practice in the description below this video that you can try for yourself that has this pose in it. Or you can check out the blog post that has even more details like how to sequence this pose into a practice. Until next time, I'll see you again soon.